rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Here.
Mr. Franco.
I'm here.
And Mr. Cabrera.
I'm here. In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, the notice requirements have been satisfied as to the time, place, and date of holding said meeting by posting notice on the bulletin board in Borough Hall and by mailing and emailing same to the Herald of Cape May County on October 4th, 2023, and the Press of Atlantic City on December 13th, 2023. In the event of an emergency, your emergency exit is through these windows, just right behind us here. No, I'm kidding. It'll be the back door to your right, the way you came in, or the door right by the American flag. A couple quick announcements here. This meeting is being shown live here today. So those of you who are here in the audience are going to be world famous. This meeting is being shown live on the borough's YouTube channel and also streaming live on the borough's Facebook page. So make sure you smile when you get in front of the camera. Be careful of what you say. All right. If you're watching this meeting and you want to make a public statement, we just need your name. We do not need your address. If you're watching it remotely, you can use the dial-in conference line, which is sitting right up here on the dais, and you're going to dial the access number 888-363-4734, and when prompted, you're going to enter the access code 9699020, followed by the pound or the hashtag. If you watch the recorded version of this meeting and you have a question or a comment you'd like to make, you're going to email our clerk at wildwoodcrest.org. Who's our clerk? Raise your hand. Chris.
Present.
Who's our clerk? Present. You can phone her at 609-729-8040. Okay, so we have a special presentation tonight here. We're all brought our shoes tonight. We're getting a basketball clinic from the Lady Warriors, the Wildwood High School female girls basketball team, who were celebrating their 2024 South Jersey championship. A couple quick notations before I introduce everybody. So the Lady Warriors were the South Jersey Group 1 champions. They beat Woodstown 54-53 in the title game. Freshman Rebecca Benichel, three-pointer with 2.4 seconds remaining, was the winning basket. Congratulations. This is their second South Jersey title in 3 seasons and third South Jersey title in 8 seasons. The team has reached South Jersey title game in each of the last 5 seasons. The tournament has been held. That does not include the COVID year. The record this season was 23-8. The team has won at least 20 games in a season for the 7th time in 8 years. The only season they didn't, again, was during the stretch of the COVID year in 2021, when they only played 15 games. They led the state in three-point field goals for the season with 298, and they set a state record with 23 three-pointers as a team during a regular season win over Woodstown in late January. And to top that all off, they were the Tri-County Conference Classic Division champions with a 9-1 record. All right, so without any further ado, Mr. Cripps, are we good?
We're all good, sir.
All right, thank you. I'd like to introduce a couple, or actually the entire team, as well as the coaches and some administrative members. All right, we're going to start with the seniors. Ashley Nagel, and when I call your name, if you could just come up, front here and in front of the dais and face towards the camera. Aaliyah Sumlin. Sophia Wilbur. Mia Cripps. Janet Gonzalez. Macy McCracken. Sydney Killian. Angela Wilbur. And freshman Rebecca Benichel. All right, the team managers. Seniors, Ashante Jones. Charlotte Killian. And junior, Lady Mercado. All right, before I introduce the coaches, I'm going to introduce Athletic Director Stephen Lurch, Principal Trish Lemma, Vice Principal Kelly Franco. And now, without further ado, the coaches. Head coach Teresa Polini. That wasn't my idea. That was not my idea. And assistant coach Jim Clark. All right. So on behalf of the borough, we're going to come down here and we're going to present this to your coaching. Where's your coaches at? Where are they at? Here we go. Come on down, guys.
Yeah, move it back. Sorry, Ron, I didn't know it was. Right.
All right. Where you want to go? Well, I'll split it.
Somebody needs to go on mute.
All right, ready? Here we go. Couple here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3.
Don't go anywhere. No, I have to do my dad job.
Yep. 1, 2, 3.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Coaches, anything you want to say?
On behalf of our team, thank you so much for all the support over the years, guys. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Sir.
I'm ready to go.
Thank you. Put it back together. Like Humpty Dumpty.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to, Teresa Kniff, thank you.
Oh, poor Teresa.
All right, we're going to clear the room. If anybody here that's here for the female basketball presentation, you're more than welcome to leave now before we get into the business portion of our meeting.
That was fun.
Way to go, Teresa Kniff.
Teresa, that was not my idea. Don't hold it against me.
Gotta have a sense of humor.
That's fun. Okay, Madam Clerk, I believe we have two ordinances on the agenda this evening.
Yes, sir. The first is ordinance 1427, and it reads as follows. An ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 63, sidewalks, curbs, and alleyways of the Code of the Borough of Wildwood Crest.
Motion that ordinance number 1427 be passed on first reading, advertised according to law, be brought up for second and final reading and public hearing on April 9th, 2024 at 9:30 a.m.
I'll second that.
It has been moved and seconded that ordinance number 1427 be passed on first reading, advertised according to law, be brought up for second and final reading and public hearing on April 9th, 2024 at 9:30 a.m.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is ordinance 1428, and it reads as follows. An ordinance repealing and replacing Chapter 67, street excavations of the Code of the Borough of Wildwood Crest, with a new Chapter 67 entitled Street Openings and Excavations.
Motion that ordinance number 1428 be passed on first reading, advertised according to law, be brought up for second and final reading and public hearing on April 9th, 2024 at 9:30 a.m.
I will second.
It has been moved and seconded that ordinance number 1428 be passed on first reading, advertised according to law, be brought up for second and final reading and public hearing on April 9th, 2024 at 9:30 a.m.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next, we have the resolutions. The first is authorizing self-examination by the Borough of the 2024 municipal budget pursuant to NJAC 5:30-7.2 through 7.5.
I'll motion.
I will second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing the calendar year 2024 municipal budget be read by title only and that a public hearing be held on the calendar year 2024 municipal budget.
I'll motion it.
I will second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes. Okay, so we have here this evening Mr. Mike Garcia from Fort Scott Kennedy, or Fort Scott, I should say, I'm
Just
sorry.
Fort Scott now.
That's how long I've been sitting
Wow.
up here. To present the budget for 2024 for the Borough of Wildwood Crest.
Sure, thank you, Mayor. I'm just going to give some brief comments on it before you open up the hearing to the public. Just to give you a brief overview of this budget. The budget that the borough's put together does maintain all services and also maintains improvements to your infrastructure. It manages your fund balance position in that we're using $3.7 million of surplus to balance this budget, the same amount that we've used the last couple of years, so we're not overusing surplus. And just as a reminder, the borough does have a very strong bond rating, and the main reason, one of the main reasons at least, for that strong bond rating is the fact that we have sufficient surplus and we manage it well. This budget, like all budgets in the state, are required to stay within the two mandated caps. First, there is the 3.5% spending cap. This budget is $157,000 below that 3.5% spending cap. We are also required to stay within the 2% tax levy cap. We are $1.6 million below the 2% tax levy cap. The budget comes in at about $28.6 million, which is an increase of about $924,000 as compared to last year, which is just over 3%. The main areas of increase that are driving this year's budget, first, contractual salaries and wages. There's also some additional salaries and wages for to keep up with the minimum wage requirements for your seasonal employees, as well as some increases to remain competitive in the lifeguard area specifically. That amounts to about $387,000 of the $924,000 of increases. Health insurance, general liability, and workers' comp insurance is increasing by about $120,000. All municipalities in the state are facing that type of increase. Pensions and Social Security, specifically in your case, pensions went up about $210,000. Our debt service is increasing to pay the interest on a bond anticipation note by about.
Excuse me. Anybody that's on the conference line, could you mute your phone, please? We're getting feedback.
They're behind.
Can we mute him?
I can turn it down. All right.
All right. As I was saying, the interest on the bond anticipation note that you have is increasing the debt service by about $235,000, and capital expenditures are down about $99,000. Those items that I mentioned produce increases of about $853,000, which means everything else in the budget is contributing about $71,000 towards the increase. So once again, that's on a $28.6 million budget. So we have increases of $924,000. The tax levy itself is increasing only by about a little more than half of that, $509,000. We're able to maintain that because the borough does have additional revenues that we're anticipating this year in the amount of about $415,000, specifically bank interest. Just like we're paying more interest on the bond anticipation note on the expenditure side, we are also earning more interest from the bank on the revenue side. So that is somewhat of an offset. So ultimately, it gets us down to the increase in the tax levy of about $509,000, which equates to just under 1.5 cents in the tax rate. 1.5 cents in the tax rate is $15 per year on the $100,000 assessment. Your average assessment here is about $450,000, so it's around $66 a year on the average assessment. All right, Mayor, those are the summary items that I have. If you're ready to open it to the public, I'll take my seat until there are questions.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, floor is open for any public comment on the calendar year 2024 budget. Let me turn this conference line back up. Conference line, anybody on the call that has any public comment on the 2024 budget? Hearing none?
Can I get a motion that the public hearing on the calendar year 2024 municipal budget now be closed?
I'll motion.
Oh, second, Trish.
It has been moved and seconded that the public hearing on the calendar year 2024 municipal budget now be closed. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Great job.
Next is authorizing adoption of the calendar year 2024 municipal budget, inclusive of $17,044,608.60 for municipal purposes be adopted.
Motion.
Second?
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing award of emergency contract to Perna Finnegan, Inc. for emergency sewer repairs in accordance with NJSA 40A:11-6 for New Jersey Avenue from Columbine Road to Rosemary Road.
All motion.
Oh, second?
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing refund of property taxes or utilities overpayment made payable to CoreLogic.
Motion.
Second?
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing expenditure to purchase installation of fast chargers at the Cap Center building contract under ESCNJ Cooperative Purchasing Program.
Motion.
I will second.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing the appointment of 4 Class 2 police officers.
All motion.
I will second.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing a memorandum of agreement between the Borough of Wildwood Crest and the City of North Wildwood, City of Wildwood, and the Greater Wildwoods Tourism Improvement and Development Authority for Jitney Transportation Services.
All motion.
I will second.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing the appointment of Thomas Ankrum to fill a vacancy as a member of the Wildwood Crest Tourism Development Commission, commencing immediately and expiring December 31st, 2024.
Motion.
I will second.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing the Chief Financial Officer to pay the prescribed flat rate per hour to law enforcement pursuant to the 2024 Distracted Driving Crackdown Grant.
All motion.
I will second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing award of contract for landscaping services, Borough Contract Number 2024-2.
Motion that.
I will second.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing award of contract for portable toilets, Borough Contract Number 2024-3.
I'll motion it. I almost said I'll move it, but
I will second.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing the submission of a project to the Community Project Funding Process and authorizing the borough to submit for the Bayside Pump Station Flood Mitigation Project.
motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing Borough Engineer work order for Park Boulevard Emergency Sanitary Sewer Replacement, Columbine Road to Sweetbriar Road, at the not-to-exceed sum of $36,000.
Motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is supporting the project of the Wildwood Business District to replace the Wildwoods Boardwalk tram cars.
Motion?
I will second.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing peddling truck license to A&T Ice Cream for 2024.
Motion?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing the appointment of Julia Tate as an advisory member of the Green Team and Creative Arts Council through December 31st, 2026.
Motion?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is approving settlement of tax appeal litigation known as Attaché Oceanfront LLC v. Borough of Wildwood Crest.
Motion?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Lastly is approving settlement of tax appeal litigation known as Gondolier LLC v. Borough of Wildwood Crest.
Motion?
I will second.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Motion that all bills properly authorized as submitted be paid.
Second it?
It's been moved and seconded that all bills properly authorized as submitted be paid. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Motion that all reports received from the court administrator, chief financial officer, tax collector, chief of police, supervisor for the recreation department, construction official, emergency services coordinator for the EMS and Wildwood Crest Volunteer Fire Company chief for the month ending February 29th, 2024 be accepted as presented.
Second that?
It's been moved and seconded that all reports received from the court administrator, chief financial officer, tax collector, chief of police, supervisor for the recreation department, construction official, emergency services coordinator for the EMS, and the Wildwood Crest Volunteer Fire Company chief for the month ending February 29th, 2024 be accepted as presented. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Motion that all minutes from the commission's meeting dated February 21st, 2024 and March 6th, 2024 be approved as presented.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded that all minutes from the commission meetings dated February 21st and March 6th, 2024 be approved as presented. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Thank you, Trish.
You are welcome.
All right. Under correspondence, we have a couple reports from our staff. We're going to kick it off with our Mayor's Wellness Campaign Coordinator, Laura Farrell, to provide her report this evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Laura.
Hi. The Mayor's Wellness Committee is an advisory board and a think tank for the Mayor's Wellness Campaign. This diverse group represents the demographics of Wildwood Crest. There are 14 members, and we meet quarterly. Our last meeting was held February 6th, and the next meeting is May 7th. We have a total of 25 or more projected initiatives for this year. The Mayor's Wellness events offered through the Wildwood Crest Recreation Department. Here are the events from October of 2023 through June of 2024. Crest Memorial Mayor's Wellness Art Contest. The children are in the process. It was put into the curriculum, and the children are going to be designing and have been designing wellness superheroes in 3D paper mache art projects and action comic strips. Wildwood Crest Wellness Weight Group. This group meets at Crest Arts Pavilion and focuses on dietary strategies and development of healthy habits. Adult Fitness. This is a total body fitness program designed for mature adults. This class meets 3 times a week. Walking Wednesdays. This is a weekly 30-minute choreographed free aerobics program. Pink T-shirt sales. Shirts were sold to support breast cancer awareness. Living Well in Wildwood Crest, 100 Ways to Greater Health. This was a document produced with a list of tips and strategies to build a healthier life. Zumba Pink Party. A dance party was held to raise awareness and money in the battle against breast cancer. Warrior Fight and Flow. This is an adult exercise program featuring boxing combinations and yoga held on Wednesday evenings. Holiday Food Drive. This is going to be ongoing throughout the year. Products are collected at Crest Pier and the CAP Center to support local food pantries. Bodywork by Jeff. This is a sports massage therapist who was available to employees for diagnosis and manual therapy to alleviate minor body aches. Crest Kids Playtime. This is an unstructured, drop-in, open playtime for children aged 2 to 4 years of age every Wednesday at Crest Pier. Wellness Skincare Roundtable. If this was a free anti-aging skincare lecture at Crest Pier presented by Jennifer Sabiga, RN of Connolly Dermatology. Wildwood Crest Holiday Lights Walk. The community came together for a walk along Sunset Lake and surrounding neighborhoods to view holiday light displays. The 2024 Wellness Questionnaire. Annually, we conduct an anonymous wellness survey. The information gathered helps us to design programming based upon community needs and interests. Champion of Wellness Ceremony. We held a ceremony and recognized and awarded those in our community who are committed to healthy living. Let's Talk Food. This was a free lecture provided the information and strategies to help break free from unhealthy eating habits. Interval training class. This was held to highlight Heart Month with this total body fitness program. Now here are our current and future programs. 100-mile virtual race. This is happening now. This is honor-based community challenge featured on Facebook. Participants walk, run, swim, cycle, or pedal the elliptical during the first 30 days of March. Individual miles are recorded and the winners will be announced. And we were awarded the New Jersey Health Care Quality Institute Healthy Town designation for the 4th year. Employee Wellness Initiative. Employees start the day off with a complimentary juice from Pure Juice Plus Kitchen of Stone Harbor. Be Well Workshop, a wellness workshop focusing on gentle yoga, creative expression, and sound healing. This free event will be held at Crest Pier on Saturday, April 13th from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Let's Talk Food Part 2. Learn how to swap low-quality junk foods for more nutritious, lower-calorie alternatives. Join this group forum on Wednesday, May 1st, 2024, from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. at Crest Pier Recreation. The Mayor's Wellness Walk. Our annual community walk with Mayor Don Cabrera will be held on May 4th at 8:30 a.m. We will meet on the porch of Crest Pier. Please arrive by 8:15 to register. Health and Wellness Expo. This health information fair features over 35 health and wellness vendors. The event is free to the public and offers health screening, nutrition tips, fitness demonstrations, door prizes, and will be held at Crest Pier on Wednesday, June 12th at 10 a.m. This is through June, and there's more to come. Thank you.
Thanks, Laura.
Great, thank you, Laura.
So let me just pick up on one thing. So Laura mentioned under her current and future programs that Wildwood Crest was awarded for the 4th year in a row the New Jersey Healthy Town. There's not a lot of communities in the 560 communities in the state to receive this, but our small 42-block community of Wildwood Crest has won that award 4 years in a row. And that's due to Laura's efforts. Now, I'll just advise everyone that we recognized Laura last month, but she won the state award for the State Wellness Coordinator Award. And because of her efforts, and Nick Holland and the entire Recreation Department, as well as our residents and our vacationers and our staff that all participate in the programs, Wildwood Crest is branded to wellness in the state of New Jersey. So Laura, thank you for that, and thanks to everybody for participating. Okay, moving on. We have a couple public safety reports and one from the construction official. Let's mix it up a little bit and start with the construction official. Mr. Allen.
Mayor, Commissioners, we've made a few changes, as we know, in our construction office, where we've taken in a few of the disciplines in-house. There's 5 subcodes that are involved, and out of the 5, we've taken on 3, which in turn, we keep that money in the Crest, opposed to paying it out to a third-party inspection agency. And what that also does is it helps the residents save money, because there's no administrative fee on top of the fees that we would charge. And we also, we've had a lot of borough projects this year, as we all know, which the fees have been waived. In the past, we have to pay that third-party contracted agency. With bringing it in-house, with myself and another employee that we hired, Jim Grawl, we've waived $40,000 that we've kept in-house, which we would have had to pay out, and that's just in the first 3 months. And looking back at this time frame from last year to this year, last year, we've already made 34,209 more by taking the 3 disciplines in for these 3 months that we retain in our office, and that's with the inclusion of saving the borough 40,000 on the borough projects. So wrap it up, I mean, construction's strong, we all see what's going on, there's plenty of renovations going on, new construction, and our office, by, you know, taking more responsibility in-house, reduces fees, it's better for the borough, and we provide inspections pretty much every day of the week now, opposed to how we were limited with the third-party contractor. And that's what I have.
Okay, governing body, questions for Mr. Allen?
Very good. Nice job, Rick.
Thanks, Rick.
Thank you.
Okay, now we'll move on to Chief Lloyd.
Evening, governing body, public. I'm just going to hit on some topics from my February report to the Commissioner of Public Safety. In February of 2024, we responded to 1,148 calls for service, 162 criminal investigations. We had 234 service calls, which include alarms, citizen assist, fires, medical assists, school-related activities, utility complaints. We conducted 108 motor vehicle stops and issued 32 motor vehicle summonses. We did 279 property checks, 408 hours of training, and we had 17 adult arrests and 1 DWI. As noted in the resolutions, we did receive a grant from the Division of Highway Traffic Safety for the month of April, which is Distracted Driving Awareness Month. So there will be extra officers out on the street looking for distracted driving, which includes messing with your radio or your handheld device. You cannot drive using a handheld device in the state of New Jersey. You can't eat a bowl of cereal while you're driving, which we have seen. So please put everything down, pay attention to what you're doing, and drive safely. Unless the governing body or the public has any questions, that will conclude.
Thanks, Chief.
All right.
All right, Mr. Cripps?
Good evening, everybody.
So,
Short and sweet, we had, for the month of February, we had 52 calls of service. 17 of those were transported. We did have 14 refusals. Public safety assists, if someone calls us out, we come out and help them out, or blood pressure check. We did 4 of those. Our 12 standbys with the fire department, and no calls for action or canceled. Fortunately, we had 1. Mutual aid given, us going to them, was 2 to Wildwood, 2 to North Wildwood, and 1 to Lower Township. And we received mutual aid once from the city of Wildwood. EMT Andy McNeil brought to my attention something related to public outreach or community outreach that we're performing, and we'll be at the wellness on Saturday, the wellness the event. We're going to do, it's called the File of Life, and basically what it is, it's unfortunately a lot of folks that live here maybe not have a close member close by and may not have all the information. So when we do on these calls, and when we do it, we'll be able to go out and offer our services to at least document what they have, the medical conditions and items like that. No personal information per se, but just if we had to get there, they were unable to remind us or tell us what they have, we would have that information within their residence. So we'll start that probably around that time. So that's all I have. Anybody have anything for me?
Anybody?
All right. Thanks.
Okay, moving on with some more reports. Do we have a clerk's report?
She gave it.
Oh, she gave it already? All right. We'll go with the administrator's report.
Okay, so, hello everyone.
beach bump outs, Rambler and North. This project was awarded to South State and is currently under construction. The contractor has multiple crews working on this project. Right now, they're doing framing and decking of the boardwalks. We are concentrating on the south end first and then heading north and doing every other street so that there's still beach access for those who want to go to the beach this time of year to take walks. 2 locations are now complete and the framing has been completed on 5 locations as of Monday. Water services for the fountains will also be completed this week. Bike racks have been procured. They are in stock, and all of the fountains or showers will be completed in about 2 weeks, and that's as well as the bike racks. The scheduled delivery for the fountains is mid-May, but we're anticipating getting that sooner, so all the plumbing work will be done in advance. There's no other delays other than the possibility of the showers coming in a little bit late, and therefore the work is expected to be complete in late May and ahead of schedule, and it should be right on budget. The Crest Arts Pavilion, Fred Chavone's crew is making great progress on this project. Items completed to date are the berm construction, that's where you see the dirt mounds that have been constructed, concrete paver sidewalks, curbs, gutters, stage areas, the walls around the stage area, pavilion footings, site lighting footings, and underground utilities. In the next few weeks, the installation of the fire pits will take place. They are on location right now, but they will be installed. Site furnishing foundations will be completed, irrigation, seashell surfacing, and the contractor will begin landscape. A lot of the trees and shrubbery has arrived. The pavilion is currently scheduled to be delivered in late April, so we should be well ahead of schedule and definitely on budget. Hartford Inlet to Cape May Inlet Beach and Dune construction. Mark and I had a conference call yesterday to establish roles and responsibilities for the creation of the 2 easements that are necessary for this project. They'll be for the borough area and the construction area. As required by our state aid agreement, de Blasio and Associates will be surveying the parcels included in the beach project on behalf of the borough, and then we would get reimbursed for that work. So we'll be meeting again with our CFO to go through the funding and how that will work. A proposal from Mark's office is forthcoming. New Jersey Avenue, the county has been informed that they were approved for funding for this roadway project. There is state and federal funding. County Engineer Bob Church has scheduled a meeting for us the week of April 8th to start the planning of the infrastructure improvements, which will take place in 2025. Sunset Lake, Sunset State Channel dredging. I received an update from Scott Douglas on Monday, and I wasn't anticipating him getting a little bit more information to me by today, but that didn't happen. According to Scott, the state's right-of-way team is still negotiating with the landowner for the acquisition of a property for the confined disposal facility. He has requested an update from his right-of-way team, and we do not have an update from them at this point on where they are in that process. But design and permitting efforts for the phase 2 of this project are ongoing, and they're on schedule. So we do look to have this project under construction next year. CAFR applications, nothing to report. The Bayside Pump Station Flood Mitigation Project, we made application for $12 million to FEMA for a BRIC grant. We've also requested Congressman Van Drew's office assist us in securing a fiscal year 2025 congressional priority funding for just over $1 million for that project. A resolution was passed this evening authorizing that, and this project, if fully funded, would include 2 pump stations and all necessary piping improvements to get water off of the streets and out into the bay in a very timely way. The Washington Avenue Flood Mitigation Project, we applied for a FEMA FMA grant for that flood mitigation project, and that area was previously studied, so we're just waiting on word back from FEMA. We expect that sometime this summer, along with the BRIC grant. Fiscal year 2023 Small Cities ADA grant is currently under design. We are going to be renovating the bathrooms here and in the police department for ADA compliance. And we did get $342,000 roughly for that grant. That is in design with our architect as we speak. Cape May County Local Road Safety Plan, which is the LSRP, in cooperation with the South Jersey Transportation Planning Organization. The county's coordinating with the local municipalities to identify and prioritize strategies and actions to reduce fatal and serious injuries due to crashes on county and local roadways. I attended a virtual steering committee meeting on Thursday the 21st. There will be 2 more steering committee meetings before The draft plan will be released in a couple of months, and there also will be one more stakeholder meeting, which has yet to be announced, and they are open to the public. So I will give you that date as soon as I have it, but we should have a draft plan out to the public in about 2 months. That's all I have.
Thank you. Got anybody, any questions for Connie? Good, public, any questions for Connie? Conference line, anybody?
Dave McWilliams. County's gonna start work on New Jersey next year
2026.
sometime. I thought you said 2025.
2025, we have to do the work in advance of New Jersey Avenue, so we have to put the sewer infrastructure, and that belongs to us. And Wildwood Water would have to come in and do any water improvements. Then the county would come in and actually do the roadway improvements, the road diet. But we're anticipating 2026 for that.
Okay, so are we back to business district proposals?
Yes.
And if so, at what point in time will they be coming before the public?
As far as what as far as the look of it all?
Yeah, I mean, 2 years ago, we were well down the road with what we were thinking we might do. I'm assuming that's still in everybody's thoughts, but
Yes.
I'm also assuming it's gonna come back in
You're
front.
right, to the details, we're right now, the infrastructure is the first priority, because that has to be done first. So then after that is off the table, then we'll be jumping back into the design stages of the 6 blocks that the planning board recommended, that's Heather to Columbine.
We do have preliminary drawings. They're on our website, but they're not finished and finalized and touched up. But we do have preliminary drawings.
Different than the ones we talked
No,
about
they
2 years
still
ago?
remain the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so that's 2026-ish.
Yes. It's federal funding, that's why it's taking this long.
Just to add to what the mayor said, so the first phase of it will be the replacement of the sanitary sewer and water mains. And then that work will have trench restoration on the roadway. I think that'll be completed,
settle.
similar to what happened on Pacific Avenue. All that infrastructure work will be done in advance, then the county come in and do their project.
Okay, just seemed that our work and the county's work are lagging much more than the Pacific Avenue work, right? I mean, we paved Pacific Avenue pretty much the same time we tore it up.
Yeah, I'm sure when we actually have a teleconference with the county
Yeah,
engineer,
next
we're gonna
week.
try to tighten that up. Usually, not gonna, when we get done in advance of them, which is preferable than the opposite of that, yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, we'll move right on to the engineering report.
Okay, thank you. The contractor for the reconstruction of Orchid Road has completed all of the water and sanitary sewer improvements. They've also completed concrete work from Atlantic to Pacific Avenue. So far, so good on that project. The contractor is also almost completed the sanitary sewer replacement on Wisteria Road. So barring any unforeseen issues, all that work will be completed before the start of the summer season. Separately, but same contractor, is completing the Park Boulevard sanitary sewer emergency replacement. They have mobilized to the site this week. They will be replacing the sewer main over the next 2 weeks, doing trench restoration and coming back at about after 30 days to mill and pave the roadway. That condition became an emergency based on an observation that was made by Asphalt Paving Systems in our office when they were doing work on Wisteria Road. The Park Boulevard sanitary sewer was packed, so to speak, and warranted the emergency replacement. So the contractor mobilized within a week, and he is starting work this week to bring it to successful completion. Next item, the design for the Bayside bulkhead replacement and flood mitigation project is complete. We have the NGDP permits in hand, and we have provided the borough with the project's impact to the property owners based on the improvements in the raising of the roadways. We'll be looking for direction and next step from the borough as to how to proceed with the project. And we've offered to make a presentation on that project next month so everybody fully understands the nature of the project and the impact. Next 2 projects, Connie touched base on, Crest Arts Pavilion and the Beach Public Access. We have a bid opening for the 2024 road resurfacing project on April 3rd. If we have a responsive bid that's within budget, we'll move that to your next meeting, which is the following week, and put that into construction. We see no issue with all those roads being repaved before the start of the summer season. In regards to grants, our office will be submitting the grant application for the reconstruction of Stockton Road to the NJDOT LTPF LMNOP program by April 4th of next week. Connie mentioned the potential $1.3 million grant from special appropriation from Congressman Van Drew's office. And I'm not sure if Connie touched on this, but the borough was notified about the fishing pier from the NJDCA, that there was a grant in the amount of almost $1.1 million.
Got anybody, any questions for Mr. de Blasio?
Thank you, Mark.
Public, any questions for Mr. de Blasio? Anybody on the conference line? Just make sure you're still there. Okay. All right, first round of public comments. We'll start with anybody here in the audience. Public comments, round one.
Dave McWilliams. I'm just a little confused. We authorized a budget of 28.6 million, but 17 million of it is municipal purposed. What's the other? Excuse me?
The levy, the taxation. The rest is revenue.
Revenue.
From other sources.
Okay. So $17 million is what we generate in tax revenues? And then the other 9 million is from other stuff, less the 3.7 that's coming out of surplus. Where will surplus be when we're done? I know 3.7 is about what we're taking out every year, or this is what I heard. Where do we end, when the fiscal years end?
Yeah, so currently, our surplus is at $9 million, and so we take out. The 3.7 will be at 5.3 million left after the 3.7 million is
So
used.
does that mean we were 13 million 2 years ago, and we took out 4, and now we're 9, we're taking out another 4? I'm just rounding. I'm just rounding. You're 9, we're gonna be at 5 point,
So
we take
we-
out 4, just to make it, and you're gonna need 5. So we took out 4 last year. Did that mean we were at 13 million?
No, sir.
Okay,
We were at 9 million, 9,000,008 last year.
okay.
So
we-
basically what we do is we regenerate, so the surplus that is used, the $3.7 million, is regenerated each year into surplus. So it's excess of, there's a multitude of reasons how we generate excess. One is when we budget for revenues and they exceed what we budgeted for, that creates an excess. We also have miscellaneous revenues that aren't anticipated that roll into our surplus each year. So those, so basically are raising about $3 to $3.5 million a year in excess revenues.
Okay,
And
so,
when we don't expend some of the
Yeah,
money in
and-
our O and E
yes.
line items and things like that, that goes back into generating that surplus.
There's about 10 to 12 different
Yeah.
okay,
categories.
thank you.
You're very welcome.
Anybody else? Any other questions? Conference line, anybody? All right, we'll move on to the discussion items. First one, 20-minute parking signage at Borough Hall. Public safety, you guys want to address that one?
If you'd like, absolutely. So it came to our attention that there's a discussion about the 20-minute parking and concern about it. I heard some people say that maybe we should get rid of those signs. So I have 4 concerns, and the first concern is I believe that the senior citizens need an opportunity to pull in, park, walk in, do their business, and leave. Second is I'm concerned about the size of our parking lot. I personally, in 2 years, I think I parked there 2 times on a Saturday, because I don't think it's fair to take a spot from our community people that are doing business in the borough. If we take the signs down, number 3, I'm concerned that the winter might be okay, but the summertime, we'll have cars parked there day and night, specifically across the street, the condos, the beach. And that won't afford our senior citizens or people that just want to run into quick business in the borough an opportunity to just park. That will force them definitely into the lot. And unfortunately, I'm concerned about the navigation of the lot, especially with senior citizens. and how much traffic may be in here. I spoke to Ralph Grassi, he concurred. After speaking with the chief, he also concurred with the leaving the 20-minute parking signs up there. We just feel that's going to create a bigger issue, a larger hardship on some people. And my concern is to keep our community members safe and also able to access this building. Chief? Yeah, come on up.
So Commissioner Schiff and I did have a pretty lengthy discussion about this, and I also spoke to Ralph Grassi, who's our traffic safety supervisor. There are some concerns that I have if we do remove the signs. As Commissioner Schiff stated, most of Sweetbriar Road is a residential area. I have a strong feeling that if we remove the signs, we're going to have residents or visitors parking there for extended periods of time. And I think it might limit access to this building for people that are looking to do business in the building. I think right now having those signs there, it's quick and easy. You pull up, you run in for 10 minutes, pay your taxes or do whatever business you have to do within the borough, and then you get back in your car and you leave. So my professional opinion, I believe they should remain. A lot of our businesses have the time limited parking so people can just run in and run out, and I don't think that we should remove it and cause a hardship on the residents.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody else? All right, so I was actually the one that suggested that we should remove the signs. And I thought originally, and Chief corrected me, right, those 20-minute signs were placed there when that are now condo, when the PNC Bank was there, because it was overcrowding. People were going into the bank, and then there wasn't much parking for Wildwood Crest. But when the borough went online with a lot of the tax payments and the drop box and so forth, I've been seeing a less people using that, and then our employees, which are mostly females in the building, are parking there when it's raining to get access in and out of Borough Hall. So that was the reason why I had suggested that. I also asked Mark's office as a result of all this. So the parking lot that the municipality owns just across the street, if you notice, it doesn't have clearly defined parking areas. So we should get a quote on line striping that, so that I see cars parked there that are actually parked in the drive areas coming in and out, up on and off that lot. So Mark's office is working on that. The seniors that I see come up, they generally are using the handicap accessible lot, and they're parking there, they're coming in and doing their thing, and then they're going. So my thought is there is one spot that's right in front of those condos that are just directly across the street, those two new buildings, and there are cars that park there, and I'm thinking if we open it up the other side too, that may take less of a burden off. It's a public street, so people are going to park. I agree that I don't think we're going to have parking issues in the wintertime. In the summertime, they're using this lot, and they're using the borough's parking lot to park there. I've seen it. So, listen, at the end of the day, you're talking about 20-minute parking. I don't know how, Chief, honestly, I don't know how you enforce a 20-minute parking when someone put a meter, or what do you put a stopwatch on it and say, you're parked there for 20 minutes, and then you go and ticket them. I just think it's impossible to enforce and hard to enforce. I'm not sure we want to put ourselves in a position. It's a public street, keep it open to the public, and go from there. The lot is plenty big enough. I've never seen it completely full unless there's a meeting going on. I think that we're fine. And I don't recall all the reasons why as to why that was in there. I thought it was for the bank, but again, you corrected me, so I could be wrong. And I did speak to the employees that use those spaces or enter Borough Hall, and they all said that they've never seen senior citizens park there. And I'm not saying that there aren't. I'm just saying that they generally use the parking lot because they have to access the street where the vehicular side for getting out of their car. So I think they're safer coming into the lot and actually parking in the ADA spaces. So we got bigger fish to fry than 20-minute parking signs, and my thought was to get rid of it. It was just a simple request as that. I didn't want it to get into a big debate on whether or not we should get rid of them. But I will say, these aren't the only 20-minute spots that we have in the borough. We have them throughout. My question would be, how do we enforce it? And I guess what really put my ears up was when we're talking about employees parking and everything. employees should be able to park there, the public should be able to park there. We should also take our employee parking lot and line stripe that as well.
I have a question. So I was told, and I wasn't here at the time, that the parking lot outside this building, that employees were not allowed to park in there. Is that true? I mean, I never heard of anything before like that, except I'm bringing it up because I did hear it recently.
The parking lot?
Our parking lot right here. Was
yeah.
there something that our employees weren't allowed to park there?
Yeah,
It was generally known to not park there,
Because it's for our
For-
customers.
to
Okay.
come in and pay
Taxpayers
fast.
to use.
I got it.
so our borough vehicles that we think we have sometimes one or two of them, we don't necessarily have to have them parked there. They can park out in the street or in that lot across the
Right.
street.
That would be good.
We did
Sir?
remove a lot of surplus vehicles that we had out there. They've been removed so that there is more parking out there. And I've actually spoken to the engineer about striping that lot before. I think that would definitely help with some of the confusion. People just kind of pull in there and leave their car in the middle, and it's hard to navigate. So I think once we get the striping in there, that'll help for the employees quite a bit.
We're in discussion, Dave. Just let's get to the public comment. All right. Any other comments? Any
Joe?
solutions?
It's something that, when it was brought up 2 weeks ago or so, I really haven't paid too much attention to it other than recently. And me pulling up, I haven't seen anyone park there at all in the last 2 weeks. So, it's,
And that's because we haven't had the employees were informed not to. So that's probably one of the reasons.
We don't want to arrest our employees.
No, God forbid.
Some of them are taxpayers.
Still, I think though, once we do take those signs down, we'll be parking over there anyway. So I'd suggest keep the signs up, let the 20-minute rule go through, and if you'd like, we can address it again, but I see it as a real plus, especially when the summertime comes and there's more traffic on the street. I'm looking out for our senior citizens, maybe some people that are disabled. I'm looking out for our citizens in general. Just give them easy access in and out. I think we spent too much time on this already.
you could reduce it, you could reduce it to one.
You
Just a
could.
thought.
I don't think that's a good suggestion, but you got two. I just say keep it up for now. We'll discuss it after the summer, see how things go if you'd like.
Listen, at the end of the day, as I said, this shouldn't be a big debate. I think it was staffing, parking there. What got my attention on it was that our staff was parking there, and I thought, and then senior citizens, I know they pull into the parking lot. I see them coming in. They use that ADA space. I don't think it's needed, but how about we do this? How about we get it line stripe first? Let's get the line stripe, take it from there, leave it as is, and then we can always address it, at
I agree with that.
at
That's
later
good.
times.
I didn't think that lot was available for us, to tell you the truth. I didn't know that.
That one?
This one.
all
Yeah.
municipal employees.
Yeah, there's actually, yeah, correct. I think there's an ordinance referenced on the sign that's over there as well.
All right, I'm good with that.
Okay.
Thank you.
So am I leaving that on old business?
I think we take it off and then
Okay.
just wait and see if, I guess I would ask that if it's a rainy pouring day and we have staff parking there, let's be mindful that
I
maybe it's
think-
pouring down rain and someone's trying to get into the building, let's not
I think
give them a
it's a
ticket.
recognizable car, we can ask.
All right.
Thank
We're
you.
still walking in knee-deep water onto our cars when it rains.
Yeah.
Happens all the time.
We're gonna take care of that with our drainage problem.
Yeah.
Okay, floodplain permit fee schedule. I know that there's a draft ordinance that was floating around on this new ordinance, and there's a fee structure that needs to go with it. I'm not sure who best, Mr. Allen or Mr. Galzonis or Mr. Franco, you want to comment? I know that you had some suggestions on a model ordinance, and I think that's probably what's on the table. I think that's the recommendation that I'm hearing coming from the construction office.
Yes. So Rick can probably speak on that if you don't mind, Rick. We did have a discussion about this, and I think this may be the best direction for us.
Yeah, with the adoption of the ordinance, there's certain projects that do not require a construction permit, but every project on someone's home does require a floodplain permit, basically to track the cost that they're putting in their home for substantial improvements. So we've looked at other municipalities, different types of fee structures, and I found one with Sea Isle that seemed like it would work well with us, where it kind of keeps things level across the board. It's not an exorbitant amount, but it's a process that we have to do to input this information, so it does help out with our budget with the workload required with doing the permit. So the permit fee will help offset the cost of the time that we're doing on it, working on it.
How much time do you spend on that area?
It seems to be between the zoning, construction, and floodplain. You could probably go one-third, one-third, one-third across the board every day. A lot more calls about floods information, since we've put stuff up on the website and have the Forerunner program. I actually had a Zoom meeting with one of the organizers the other day. She said we're really getting a lot of hits on there where they can see where people go in and view, and they're looking at information, a lot of telephone calls, a lot of education. We're actually in the Coastal Coalition. It's a program the borough's in that helps us with our CRS program, and we're going to be hosting that next month, April 1st, Thursday of the month. So if anybody wants to stop over and check it out.
I think a draft was sent to the governing body from Rick, and
Yes.
I'm in favor of what was sent over, so I guess you guys can
Yeah.
decide and let us know.
Yeah,
if
so
you're-
I am as well, so I think if Ron, if you're okay with it, we need to get it on the agenda.
So,
I
Rick,
think
just
we
so
put it on.
we're clear here, you're holding the draft version that has $50 permit for all work under 10,000?
No, I found
Okay.
another one with the Sea Isle one, which is a different one, which has a $75 fee for roofing, siding, like stuff that does not need a construction permit. And they had some other fees on there that I thought were a little exorbitant when it came to solar. Someone, they had like $200 on there, which I thought that would fall in the lines with roofing, like $75. And then with like new construction or additions where we do a lot of work, that would be a $150 application fee, because that's, we review a project for zoning, for our zoning code, and then our construction reviews it for construction, but we're really not getting anything for the floodplain review, which is a major component of the review when it comes to new construction, because when we submit our annual report to FEMA at the end of the year, all of our elevation certificates have to be reviewed for correctness. So,
All right, well, send me over the numbers that you think and categories that you just mentioned, and
okay,
we'll put it in an ordinance.
sure, I can
for
give it to
draft.
you tomorrow if you'd like.
Sure, first thing.
All right.
How about now?
Can I get a copy too, Rick?
Yes,
Please?
yes,
I guess you'll send that out so we can take a look at that one, huh?
absolutely.
that
I'll
out.
send it out to
Yeah, we
everybody.
sent that out, so we may have missed it, we'll resend
Oh, I
it.
must have missed that.
Pardon me, Jim?
We'll resend it, we might
Yeah.
have missed
I
it.
think I missed it. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think I sent, did I maybe sent out to,
I remember
admin.
seeing it, but it wasn't clear to me if that was
Yeah, I-
superseding
I
what the
kinda-
first
Yeah,
draft
it
was, or
happened.
what.
Glossed over it.
yeah, like 2 days ago. So it was, doing some research and seeing what other towns are doing and try to keep it, compatible and comparable.
Thank
Any
you,
other
sir.
questions?
Thank you.
All right,
All right.
you're welcome, thank you.
Mish, anything?
No, sir, thanks, Rick.
All right, that takes care of all the new business items. Under old business, the lot at Rosemary and Seaview. So we had discussed, I think we had a consensus to put that lot up for sale via sealed bid. I guess the question now is, we kind of waited just to see if we would hear anything more from the public. I haven't heard anything more other than the last comment from the last meeting or 2 meetings ago. So I would suggest or entertain the idea of having the lot go up for sale, sometime within the next month and a half, 2 months. Be before the summer, for sure.
I agree, I think the timing is right to do it, so within the next month,
Yeah, I'm there too.
All right, solicitor?
The sample bid documents already went out for review, so I think all we need to do is figure out what a minimum bid should be.
All right, I think Jason,
Jason gave us that.
yeah, I think our assessor gave us a
You can resend that.
recommendation. So I'll defer to you all. Okay, concession agreement, hotels and beach chairs, that's on hold. Traffic calming, first, I guess Connie mentioned that in her report, and the first, the engineer was retained for the phase one aspect of it, and now the budget has been approved, so we can potentially move forward on phase two and phase three. Back beach excavations on hold pending that Army Corps, DEP dune. Dredging, Connie reported on that. New Jersey Avenue infrastructure pre-county, Mark covered that in his report, as did Connie. Public Works roof, just needs some funding. Bayside outfalls, we actually, that also is a requirement of some funding, and just on that, Mark, I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page. So you had mentioned in your report, you suggested of doing a full presentation on the scope of the project, but also, or separate, having the property owners on the bayfront that are going to be affected by the project, things that they have to be aware of, and things that they're going to have to pay for, and/or work out with the borough. Is that the same meeting, or is that a separate meeting? Did you want to do that?
It's your pleasure, whatever the commissioners feel is
Okay.
appropriate.
I think,
We could,
yeah,
we could do either way.
I'm thinking individual property owners should be a private meeting. I don't think they want to talk about their properties and what they have to do and what they can't do in public, but I think a public presentation on the scope of the project and all the details is healthy.
How are you gonna do the private one? How do you set that up? By appointment
Well,
only?
some of them are going to be with engineering related, and some of them are legal related, so.
Like,
That's-
so we've identified in that document that I sent over to the mayor and Connie, the situations that require enhanced coordination. So we can quantify who that is, where it is, and then however you decide that you want to communicate to the people, will be available to help.
Okay. You guys think, okay with a public presentation on this overall scope, and then a private meetings individually with them? I think we'll have to send them each a letter, and then give them a number to call and set up a meeting, and then we'll have to schedule individual meetings
Because
with them.
there's some properties that really don't have any impact that's worthy of doing anything enhanced, but then there are some.
Yeah, I think the intimate meeting in terms of like a one-on-one is the way to go. All right,
So how will we notify them is one of my questions. I would figure that we would send out
certified mail.
certified mail sign off, because the problem that we always had at school was, I never heard it. I never heard about this, and we would advertise it, and then somebody would come back ultimately and say, I didn't know anything about that, and that's one thing I'd like to avoid. So we pull that card out, that's good. Very good.
So on the individual and private owners meeting, are you suggesting sending out public notice to all the property owners on the bayfront?
I think
Or to all the-
specifically the single ones that, that you wanna
Okay.
talk to, but the open meeting, I think, we
Yeah, I
could
think
do what we
The
usually
scope
do.
of the meeting.
Yeah, I think everybody, generally this should be well received,
Yeah,
I
sure.
would think.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have no problem with that.
All right, so Mark,
So
can
we're
you,
gonna develop a mailer like we normally would with the clerk.
yes.
Get Jason to give us the addresses
I think you had the addresses.
I think there was there 8, if I counted correctly?
Well, if are you talking about papering everybody on the project route, which is you have 10 streets that have the full reconstruction, you have 7 streets that are just getting valves.
No, the ones that have right-of-way issues.
The target specific
Yes.
ones.
Yes.
Okay.
So certified letters to them, contact the engineer, schedule appointment, if it's legal related.
So what we could do is we could have that letter, and it could be specific to that property, and then take the photographs that we provided in that report and specifically show them what the issues are and what we need to talk about. So it's not gonna be it's not gonna be a cookie cutter letter, it'll have to be a specific letter for each one.
Tailored.
Okay.
Yep.
Good luck, that's gonna be on the right. Thanks.
Okay, Washington Seaview Beach outfalls and capacity, waiting for Mr. Rotola to give us a decision on the grant that we had applied for. Okay, now we're on our last and second round of public comments.
David Williams, why don't you limit the 20-minute parking when the borough office is open? That way on weekends and holidays, the people wanna park there, they can park there. Take it under consideration, but if the concern is access for the community while the borough office is open, that fixes it.
I think it's again, it comes down to you just, sometimes there are, actually, yeah.
Maybe you don't have to address it at all, but if that's the issue, that's the issue. When the borough office is open, it's 20-minute parking. The rest of the time,
I'm not sure that's the full issue, but
well,
basically,
I'm
that was,
telling you what I'm
that was,
hearing,
that was
okay,
a,
so-
that was a nice suggestion, I appreciate that.
What, so any changes, correct me if I'm wrong, Ron Galzunas, any changes to those signs from an enforcement perspective, these are an ordinance change?
They're listed in an ordinance under time limit parking, so we'd have to change the.
Okay, so we would have to change the ordinance if we did anything, whether we remove them or whether we change it to.
And you can change the times and
Right.
dates, and we have those throughout various places.
Thank
Can we
you.
keep this under old business? I don't know if you mentioned that.
Yeah, no, we can keep it under if you want.
Yeah, please.
Okay. Any other public comments? Hearing none? We have a contingency from Buttercup, nothing? All right.
Gas work is
No.
going really well. They found a problem at Park and Buttercup, and they kind of cleaned it up. Pretty good with the leaves.
Good. All right, last round, commissioner comments, I guess. We're on commissioner comments.
Joe?
I'll be brief. I just wanted to say thank you to all the finance department and all the department heads for a great budget. I think with the people here and viewing at home, you'll see that your return on investment is excellent, in my opinion. So, and from the reports that we're hearing, we're doing a lot of work and we're getting a lot of things done. So I'll be hard pressed to see if any other town is doing the type of work that we're doing and keeping our spending this low. Obviously, you don't want to see an increase in your taxes, but like I said, the return on investment is fantastic in my opinion. So I want to say thank you to the department heads and the finance department doing an excellent job.
Okay.
I agree 100% with that. They work hard. I have a couple of things. One, I'd like to publicly thank Steve Shear and our mayor for allowing Public Works to help us out on our building. It was John, Jody, Mike, and Nick that did an excellent job, and I really appreciate that work. They got it done in a timely manner. Secondly, Chief Lloyd was officially sworn in as the Cape May County Chiefs of Police Association president on March 14th during the association's installation ceremony. He has been acting in the capacity as president since October of 2023 and was previously the vice president from January of 21 to October of 23. That's a big deal. Also, Chief Lloyd was certified as an accredited chief executive through the New Jersey State Associations of Chief of Police, ACE, certification program on March 13th. His certification will last 3 years, and he must show that he maintains the training and leadership standards since the initial award in order to maintain the certification. Currently, only 33% of state police chiefs are certified. In the state of New Jersey, State Chiefs looks to promote professional competence, continued education, and career development among law enforcement leaders. So now, not only is our police department accredited, so is our chief. And I want to applaud you for that, because that's a big deal. Thank you for your work. And happy Easter to everyone.
Chief, are you an expert in 20-minute parking?
You will be.
Is that part of certification? So my comments are actually just three. One is regarding the budget. Francine and team, thank you. Thank you to all the department heads, the governing body members for doing what we do to get it to a good budget. I just want to challenge everybody to and that includes all the department heads. The goal, in my mind, the goal here is to continue to regenerate surplus, find miscellaneous revenues, which is in the form of lease spaces. We have the beach box program has been a big hit, keeps taxes down. Entertain ideas like corporate donations for like the lighting that you see along Sunset Lake, and maybe sponsoring some of the concerts that we have at Centennial Park and so forth that we offer to the public for free. But if there's other revenue sources to help offset those costs, I think will be a big hit. We also should continue to use and apply for grants that make sense. Francine, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe in the last 2 years, this borough has received over $4 million in grant money. That's very good. Has been the secret to a lot of our success in helping to keep our costs down. So that's on the budget. On the Arts Pavilion, I don't know if anyone had the opportunity to see the Partners in Preservation, along with Rita Rothberg, our county clerk and historian. This is the 250th year of the Battle of the Turtle Gut down on Miami Road, and she did a really nice kind of like what was life like in the Wildwoods and Wildwood Crest 250 years ago. So I've asked them to consider bringing that presentation on again. It was well received and well attended, but there's a lot of people that weren't able to make it, so we may bring that program back. And lastly, if everyone marked their calendars, put it in your iPhones or mark it on your manual calendar. May 19th to 25th is National Public Works Week. Department that makes the borough go round, selfishly. All right, all good? That's all I have for the good of the order.
All motion?
I will second, Judge.
All in favor?
Aye.